So I'm the Reaper teacher. Um, I'm here to do a review for Mr. D Ryan. Welcome, D Ryan. How are
Thank you.
you today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good. He's you just officially became official as Horrifying
Right.
Hot Sauce, correct?
That's correct. Legally, officially opened on Halloween of 2023.
And that is a perfect date for you.
That was the plan. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
So how long have you been unofficially Horrifying Hot Sauce?
Since 2020 or 2019. So it's been 3 or 4 years now. I made a bunch of sauce. So let me go back further. I used to make beer. I was a brewer. I was trying to open a brewery. I had a partner and we were working together to open a brewery in San Antonio where I used to live. Unfortunately, his life got really difficult, and therefore I didn't have the time to do it by myself. So that kind of went to the wayside. But I really loved fermentation and the art of fermentation, the science. And then I found out about fermented hot sauce in probably 2017, 2018. I'd always grown peppers because I like spicy. So I thought, hey, let me just start, trying this out. And I made a couple sauces, and I was actually really surprised that they weren't bad. Like I could eat them and enjoy them, and I was surprised that they turned out decent. So I started kind of working on it a little more, and then probably by about 2020 is when I officially was, horrifying hot sauce as a name. Um, in 2020 or Christmas of 2019, I got an iPad for Christmas, and I started playing with digital paintings and digital art. I've always been a big fan of art and art. As you can see, I'm a big movie fan. Um, so I started playing around with, doing paintings from different horror movies that I liked and stuff like that. And then it dawned on me like I could put these two together and I could do this hot sauce that I like, and I could pair it with original art that I could make for these hot sauces. And that's kind of where it came from. So probably somewhere around the March, April, May of 2020 is when it really kind of solidified as an idea. And I started working on these sauces. And I also spent the last 13 or so years in the corporate world working in product management. So I have a lot of experience with like iterative design and, taking something and making it better by doing it over and over again and changing slight things. So I took that approach to my sauces, and I had like an idea of what I wanted, and then I'd make it and like, yeah, that's okay but not great, so that would change it a little bit, and I'd make it again and I'd make it again and I'd make it again, and eventually I got to where I found some recipes that I really liked. And then when I started sharing them with other people, they actually liked them too, so it wasn't just me. And I was like, okay, cool, so maybe it's actually decent. I'm not just blowing smoke up my own butt. So I
Always nice when other people like them too.
right. It really is. And then when you get people that you don't actually know who like them, that's the test. So when you give them to your friends and family,
You're
almost always they're gonna be
not
like,
certain,
yeah, it's
right?
great, right? But like when I started, after about a year of this, I set up a little group on Facebook, and I got some different people from different Facebook groups to come in, and I started sending out samples and getting their feedback, and the feedback was pretty positive. So I thought, okay, maybe I can really do this. So I was in San Antonio and I was working to get that started, but then my family, we decided to make the move up to Denver. So I kind of nixed it for a bit. Moved up here in June of 22, yeah, June of 22, and then in May of 2023, my corporate job went away. So it's okay. I got severance and it was fine. I had put out into the universe, I am ready to be done with the corporate world. And then the corporate world's like, here, get out and here's a paycheck. And I'm like, cool. So in
Kind of
May of
pushed
2023,
into a place where you wanted to be.
exactly. So I started looking at trying to open a brewery and a hot sauce company here in Denver. The brewery didn't work because I needed a lot more money than I could get approved for on a loan to get started. But hot sauce I can do myself. So after I realized that the brewery was not going to launch right now, at least, it's still something I'm working on, but it's just not, immediate. I decided, well, I'm just going to go find myself a commercial kitchen space and start making hot sauce. And that's what I did. So beginning of October, I moved into my kitchen space, and October 31st, I launched my website, horrifyinghotsauce.com, and started doing sales from that day. So
I'm so excited for you, and I love that
thank you.
story. You know, it's really awesome when you can take your skills and mesh them together into one thing. Um,
Yeah, it really has been nice because I really enjoy the art. I really enjoy doing paintings and working on that sort of thing. I really enjoy movies. Obviously, I've been I didn't mention it, but I've been a filmmaker for years as well.
mention that part.
I started making movies back in 1999, so like last millennia, and I've always wanted to do something with that. So this gave me an opportunity to kind of pair a couple things that I really love, and the sauces have turned out pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with them.
So the movies that you've made, were they all horror
Mhm.
movies?
Actually, no. They were mostly comedies. My last short that I made is what I call an art horror film. It's called Cluster. It's actually kind of a home invasion film, but what's going on is one guy is torturing another guy, and the way he's torturing him is the way I feel when I have cluster headaches and migraine headaches. So it's a visual metaphor for headaches.
Huh.
But before that, I made a feature film called Defective Man, which is a campy superhero comedy. I've made a bunch of shorts. I tried to make a zombie stoner comedy, but we lost access to the equipment. It's it was one of those jokes about like how do you be a stoner when the world's over? Was kind of the joke. So um, so I've done quite a few different things as far as movies go, and then I've worked on some other people's movies. I got to actually work with the guy who played Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So he was amazing. So I've had a chance to do a few of those things, and like I said, not all of my stuff is horror, but horror is probably the genre that I gravitate to the most. I just really enjoy
Yeah, I was frightened to see you.
it. I'm not as scary, I promise.
Okay.
What's funny is most people I know in the horror world are the nicest, kindest human beings you'll ever meet. And then you see the things they make in movies and you're like, wow, where did that come from? But, to talk to them, they're just wonderful people. Like Gunnar Hansen, the guy who played Leatherface, arguably one of the scariest characters ever. And he's huge. He steps in the doorway and you can only see light over his shoulders. Um, Nicest guy I've ever met, funniest guy, super intelligent. He's just amazing. But then he can turn it on and be so scary. So
I'm gonna say I love that perspective, but I'm gonna theorize that perhaps it's just their creativity is dark inside.
right. Yeah,
They're super creative, charismatic people that just have a dark side, and
exactly. And you just bring it out here instead of
that's where
bringing it
their
out in the real world.
creativity shines.
Right.
So, do I have one of your original or a couple of your original ones from your initial line?
So I think all three that I sent you are part of my five main sauces, my year-round sauces. So I have currently on my website, I have 9 different sauces available now. I'm going to have more eventually, but my kind of five main ones are the Burning, Buffet for Shitar, Pazuzu, Momo, and Shutteracha.
So
Those are
you
my
started
my
with
five.
all five?
I no, I didn't. Probably the first one I started working on was Pazuzu, and that one took a really long time because I wanted to make a purple sauce that tasted good. Yep, there she is. Uh, and it took a lot of iterations to get that to where I wanted it. Momo, which you have as well, that one actually, the first version of it was really close to the final version. Like it really hasn't changed that much over the years. And that's because that one is specifically my favorite pepper, which is the Manzano pepper, which a lot of people are not very familiar with. Um,
That was going to
Manzano
be one of my
peppers.
questions.
Okay, well, cool.
But
I beat you
okay,
to
I just need to tell you though, this sauce I remember seeing for while you were still in hobby mode.
it. Hmm.
Remember seeing this, and I'm going to tell you that this is giving me nightmares. So you're doing something right. It's really
Well, that sauce is actually
horrifying.
one of my more mild ones, so it's not really that scary. But I'm glad
The
that
art,
it did its
though,
job.
the art, you're doing
Yes,
something right. And it definitely
yes,
caught my eye because I knew exactly who you were.
Yeah, that one's actually the only one that the art is not based specifically on a movie so far that I've made. Momo, if you know people remember, was this kind of internet hoax that went around, and it was one of these things where like if you get the email, you're gonna die or
I
some
remember
such
that.
nonsense. But all it was just a sculpture by a Japanese artist that someone had taken a picture of and started making weird stuff out of. And then I thought, you know what, that's cool. And then the sauce came from the two ingredients besides like brine and vinegar and stuff like that is mango and manzano, which both start and end with mo.
So
That's
Momo
where
is
Momo came
a
from.
play on both
Right,
terms. I
right, right.
noticed that you have manzano peppers in, I think, all of your hot sauces,
Not all of them, but
or very,
probably
very close to all
75%.
of them.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them. That
So
is by far my favorite pepper.
I'm not that familiar with the manzano pepper, but I did notice that about you, and I see that as
Mhm.
unique. So what is it about the manzano pepper that you love so much?
So the manzano pepper is just super cool. It is actually from the mountains in South America, so it grows up in the Andes. It grows at higher elevation and lower temperatures than just about any other pepper plant. Um, the whole family of peppers actually has hairy leaves, which is weird, and they have black
Oh,
seeds, which is weird.
that is weird.
Um, yeah, like you cut open into it, and the first time you cut one open, you're like, "Oh, this pepper's bad," but it's not. The
Mhm.
black seeds is actually, mature pepper. Um, and then what I love about the manzano in particular is it's got these thick walls and super tropical fruity flavor with about cayenne level heat. So it's not a mild pepper, but it's not a super hot or anything. It's not, something that people that, have the whole let's go eat hot peppers are not going to be testing themselves on this one. But the flavor is just unlike anything else. I mean, it's literally like a tropical smoothie with heat.
Wow,
Um,
I love that
yeah.
that description. Um,
And then the weirdest thing about it that I think is super cool is so all peppers have capsaicin in it, right? That's the chemical that makes us feel burning and feel
mhm.
like our mouth is on fire. Um, Manzano and its family of peppers has dihydrocapsaicin, which is like capsaicin, but a couple of molecules have moved around. And the weird thing with that is most people find it, in that cayenne level heat, but dihydrocapsaicin hits some people
Like
differently
yes,
where they end up getting a lot hotter. So it's just interesting because for most people that sauce is relatively mild, but for I would say maybe 20% of the population, it's not so mild.
and that
It's
is
kind of like cilantro. Some people
yeah,
taste the soap, some don't.
that's an interesting
So
scientific observation too.
yeah, I don't know. It's so cool. Like I found it living in San Antonio because honestly, if you're pretty far from Mexico, your chances of finding it are get lower and lower. It's hard to find. I actually can get it here in Denver, which thank God, because otherwise a lot of my sauces would be I'd have problems.
Yeah,
Um,
you would be able to find a source somehow, but I'm happy that you have a local source.
yeah, yeah. My local produce supplier has manzanos almost all the time, so I'm really happy about that.
And that's
And if you go out
Denver
to
isn't very close to Mexico at all.
no, no, not really. But there is a very large Mexican population in Denver, and I think that's why you see them here. There's a bunch of the Mercado type grocery stores, and that's where you'll find manzanos
And
is
I live
when you
in
go into
Southern
the Mexican
California,
Mercado.
so I love Mercado.
Yeah, there you go.
Very
So
familiar.
next time you're in there, pay attention. They look like little apples, hence the name Manzano.
Oh,
They're
if I
about
run
fist
into them,
sized.
I'm definitely gonna purchase some.
Try them; they're so good.
And
I
you know,
love them. I will just grill one up and throw it on a burger. So,
sounds good. Because I do grow up, even though I am a competitive chili
mm-hmm.
eater, I'm in League of Fire. I grow chili peppers also, and I say every pepper has its place. So I grow chili peppers from Jimmy Nardello. So they're kind of my favorite non-super hot peppers, and I
Mm-hmm.
grow my own jalapenos, which people think is weird, but I like being able to go out and pick my own jalapenos. Um,
Right. Well,
and
I enjoy growing jalapenos as well because I can let them go to red instead of
that's
having to
true.
get
That's
the
true too. And
green.
I can also let them go to red, and I do utilize
Right. Yeah. And actually, this last couple seasons, if you haven't seen them, there is a variety called lemon spice jalapenos.
that.
They're amazing. Find them if you can. They're
Okay,
bright
I
yellow
will.
and they literally taste like lemon.
I
So,
enjoy growing purple jalapenos because purple's my favorite
mm,
color. But
nice.
so I mean, I have a plethora. I grow a plethora of peppers, even though and then I have my menagerie of super hot chili peppers also, all the way
Of
up
course.
to the almost the hottest pepper.
Yeah, the formerly hottest pepper, right?
So, do you want to talk about the background of the movies from these two sauces?
Sure, sure. So yeah, like I said, Momo is the only one that's not based on a movie, so we'll put that off to the side. Buffet for Sheetar, or Buffet for Sheetar, however you want to say it, is actually from one of my favorite silly campy movies from the 80s. It's a movie called Blood Diner. It's about these two brothers who are trying to bring back a ancient demon named Sheetar. She lives off of blood, so they're going to create a buffet of blood, as he says, for Sheetar. So that's actually her in the corner there, hiding behind the brain. You can see her face kind of sticking out just a little tiny bit. Yep, that's Sheetar. One of the main characters ends up being a brain in a jar. So that's the brain right there.
It reminds me of The Man with Two Brains.
I love that movie too. It's just such a silly movie that not enough people have seen. You know, it was one of those movies that was like, if you watched, you know, USA back in the 80s and watched Up All Night, you might have caught it on there, you know. But it's just not one that's gotten as much attention as it really should. And I love that movie so much. It's so silly. It is a horror movie, but it is very much a comedy. And it's just one of my favorites. So that one is a plum based sauce. Plum is the biggest in there. All my sauces are fermented, and then I add fresh ingredients afterwards as well. So it's not just fermented or just fresh, it's both. So that one has a lot of plums in the fermentation, also has some Carolina Reapers and some habanero, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And then a little more added. That's probably the hottest of the three.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Of the three, which one is the hottest?
Yeah, probably that one. So that one and Pazuzu I both rate as R rated, but I would say Buffet for Sheetar is a hard R. Where
I love your movie scale heat rating.
Thank you. Yeah. So we make sauces from PG to NC-17, though I've only made one NC-17 sauce so far. I am working on G-rated sauces. I'm trying to figure out sauces without any heat at all for people like my wife who don't enjoy spicy. So I'm kind of working on that. I actually blended one together today, but I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see.
I actually just recently, I make jam, but I'm an extreme hobbyist with the products that I make right now. But I've won awards in the fair for the jam I've made. But my niece, my ladybug princess, who I love so much, she said, "My Annie, can you make me a hot sauce that's not spicy?"
I'm working on it too. So if you figure it out before me, we gotta. Oh, did you?
I did.
Nice. How did it turn out?
I think it turned out pretty delicious. I was surprised. I tried to make it so that it didn't taste like ketchup and it didn't taste like taco sauce, basically.
Right.
They hit that mark. So perhaps we can talk about that after our interview.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just blended up one today. I haven't tasted it yet because I like to let my sauces sit for like 24 hours before.
That makes a lot of sense because they'll taste different.
Yeah, right. And the one I made today had pomegranate and strawberry in the ferment, and then watermelon fresh afterwards, and then a bunch of black garlic. So we'll see how it goes.
I love black garlic. I eat it like it's candy.
Yeah, black garlic is amazing.
Oh my God.
That's one of the ingredients that I'm using in a lot of my sauces as well. Back in San Antonio, I had a bit of a source for black garlic, but here I don't. So I just bought a black garlic maker, and now I'm just making black garlic.
So you're making your own black garlic though?
Yeah, because it's so expensive if you don't do it that way. You know, it's just ridiculous. So, but yeah, and I think I remember right, Buffet for Sheetar has a little bit of. No, it doesn't. Take that back. That one doesn't. But a lot of my other sauces have black garlic in them. So.
Well, I approve of incorporating black garlic.
Yeah, me too. I'm a fan of garlic, period. Actually, I have a few sauces that have fermented, roasted, and black, all three in one sauce, you know. So I like building flavors is one of the things that I do a lot of. So like a lot of my sauces you'll see have like Ghost or Reaper in them, but it'll be very small amounts just to kind of mess with the heat.
Yeah, to lift the heat up, but then you incorporate other flavors and perhaps other peppers.
Oh yeah, for sure. I use lots of other peppers. Manzano obviously is one of the ones.
I see
Red
that
jalapeno.
Mazzano is your is your star pepper.
It
Just
is. It is.
by
And
reading
especially in Momo. So
perusing your horrifying hot sauce website, I just noticed Manzano peppers came up quite frequently, and I knew
yep,
that you must have had an affinity for them. So I wanted to
for
learn
sure.
more about that.
Yeah, I love them. I think they're super cool, and I hope that more people kind of I hope they grow. I've tried to grow them myself, and I've had no luck. So I hope that eventually I can find somebody here that can grow them better than me, so I can get them from them instead of having to have them imported from Mexico and hope that they're still good by the time they get here.
I
So
understand that too, but I just have a quaint little garden. I mean, I have 30 super hot plants, but that's because I'm using my room very creatively.
nice. And then the other one, Pazuzu, that is my exorcist hot sauce. So when
Ooh,
I wanted to make a purple hot sauce, I kind of reached out to my friends and I'm like, hey, when you think of the color purple, what horror movie comes to mind? And almost everybody says The Exorcist. A few other people said this movie, Color Out of Space, which I love, and I made a sauce based on as well. But The Exorcist was the big one. So that was one that has gone through a bunch of iterations. At one point, it had beets in it. I mean, it's had a variety of different things, but now it's blueberry, prickly pear, and watermelon in the ferment, and then
and I was
blueberry
interested
fresh.
in this one because of the prickly pear and watermelon mix. So I'm not always privy to sweet sauces. I love prickly pears, and I've made prickly pear jam. And I love
Mm.
watermelon, so I felt I had to try it.
And keep in mind that the prickly pear and the watermelon are all in the ferment, so it's not overly sweet.
Mhm.
The only fresh fruit in it is blueberries, which are more tart than sweet. So it does have definitely a sweet backbone to it, but it is not, I wouldn't say it's a sweet sauce. Now, Momo is just mango and manzano, so that's definitely much sweeter because it's got a heavy mango base to
Well,
it.
I had to get this one too because we had a history.
Right.
So
And
I'm
now
glad
you can overcome your fears. You can,
I'm
you know.
totally overcoming my fear. Your Momo art right here. So
Yeah.
if you ever doubted your impact as an artist, you had an impact on me.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And
So
honestly, look at his art is really amazing. Like
thank
it
you.
definitely helps. Um, I was having discussion with a couple other chili heads about like what's important when you're assessing whether or not you'd like to purchase the sauce or and many of them said that aesthetics of the bottle and the label were prime in them deciding whether or not they would want to
Mhm.
they'd want to purchase or try a hot sauce. So
I don't disagree. I've seen so many where people are like, this sauce is great. And then it's like a white label with black text. And I'm like, if it's so great, take some time and make a better label. Like, come on,
yeah, I
So
that and I like we do judge books by well we judge
we
hot
do,
sauces by their cover a little bit.
we do, we do. And honestly, with my sauces, as weird as it may sound, the first thing I think about when I'm making a new sauce is the color of the sauce. What color is it going to be when I'm done? So a lot of my sauces, if you look at them, I mean, they go
They're
from.
very pretty. I mean, the color is lovely. Like you
Thank
see
you.
this one, this is a lovely purple plum color.
Hmm.
This one is
Yep.
a bright burnt orange color.
Hmm. The first batch of that, and when I normally make it with black plums, which I wasn't able to get this time, it comes out much more blood colored, hence buffet for Sheetar.
Which makes
So,
a lot of sense because
right,
it's Shitar's well Shitar's buffet.
correct. She's coming for the blood. So, yeah. Well, the first time I made it, it was just crimson, and I'm like, okay, so that's got to be a blood diner sauce right there. So, and I actually just watched it not long before that for the 70th time or whatever. So, but yeah, that's when I sit down and make a new sauce from scratch. That's usually one of the first things I'm thinking about is what color is this going to be when I'm done.
So your first thing
So
to think about when you're going to make a new sauce is the color.
it is. And then from there, I think about what ingredients are going to get me to that color and are they going to play nice, and then start playing around with that. So,
What
so I've actually made a rainbow of sauces at this point. The only colors that I really haven't gotten to work are blue, because that doesn't exist in the real nature world, and white. So I've done just about any other color besides those two. So
I love that. You know, everybody does have their inspiration for starting a hot sauce, and it can be a plethora of different things in your
mhm.
color.
Yeah,
So what's your
yep,
favorite color?
probably purple. Yeah, purple's I'm a big fan of purple. I don't know. Well, I guess I should take that back. Really blue,
You can
but
have more than one
purple is
favorite
right in there.
color.
That's true. Purple's it's a bluish purple. You know what I mean? So if I had to say one specific color, cobalt. Cobalt's my that's my
Cobalt.
favorite. Yeah, very specific blue. So
And I wish to share with you that my favorite colors are purple, black, clear, and silver.
those go very well together.
You haven't made a silver hot sauce.
I have not. I don't know if that's possible without adding weird stuff like glitter or something. But
Oh,
that's another thing is I try to make the color I'm trying to make, but I don't ever use food coloring or anything like that.
mhm.
I only put ingredients in they're going to add to the flavor and the heat and the color, but I don't put stuff in just to make it
I
whatever
agree with
color.
that aside from the glitter because I think glitter is a color.
Yeah, I mean
And I'm
they
a
make
teacher,
glitter
so you
beer,
know
so why
glitter
not
is
make
an
glitter hot
ingredient.
sauce?
So,
So yeah,
but that
and there's edible glitter out there now, so why not?
well, I'm going to tell you in the hot sauce I made for my ladybug princess, which was called
Hmm.
which I called the ladybug princess keyless pepper sauce. I put glitter in it.
Nice, awesome.
All right, well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed spending this time with you. You also gave me a sticker.
I did. Yep. So
Is
I
it
throw
your
one of those
logo?
in with all my orders. That one's a bunch of my different images all put together. You've got
I see
Pazuzu in the
that.
corner there. The skeleton in the middle there is from my NC-17 sauce.
Mm.
Down in the corner, you've got a couple of the characters from Shutteracha, which is from my favorite Thai movie, and that's my Thai sriracha sauce. And then the eye in the background there is from The Color Out of Space, my other purple sauce that I made.
Oh, the eye, I noticed. I was curious about that. So it looks
Yeah,
like
so
a mishmash of your art on this sticker too. It's super creative.
thank you. And I throw in a sticker when people order, and then also offer like you can get just a pack of stickers for I sell them in packs of 3 or 7. So if you want, I just have a bunch of my different labels that I've done over the years that I make into sticker form. So including one of the ones that people seem to really like, but no one's had the sauce in 2.5 years is one I have called Season of the Witch, which is my pumpkin spice hot sauce. So hoping to bring that back this fall.
That sounds good.
It
It's
actually is really good.
well, you know, you've already done. I love pumpkin so much.
Yeah.
So if you deliver it properly, I'm in.
Oh, I mean, I was it was that was another one that took a few iterations to get where I wanted it, but once it was there, it was just like, why isn't this a thing? Like, why don't other people have a pumpkin spice hot sauce? I literally put it on pumpkin pie,
I
and
would
it was
totally put it
amazing.
on pumpkin pie.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully this fall we'll see that. I'm working on a few. I like to do my regular sauces, and then I like to do either collaborations or seasonal sauces. So I just released a sauce that is my first official horror movie tie-in for a movie called The Stink of Flesh, which is a zombie movie that was shot in Albuquerque. So it has a bunch of New Mexican peppers in it.
Oh, I love New
The
Mexican.
sauce.
Well, I have a special place in my heart for hatch chilies.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I lived in Albuquerque for 9 years,
Mhm.
and it's hatch chili season because you walk outside and you smell the hatch roasting because every single grocery store has their little propane roaster out front roasting hatch chili. And when I left Albuquerque for Texas, that was one of the biggest things I missed was that fresh green chili.
Oh,
I
that's
love green
the
chili.
smell during that season,
Yeah, yeah. Um,
or the
so
chili in general.
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Smell during the season, and or the chili in general.
Both, both. Having access to really good chili because everywhere else you get Anaheim chilies, which are okay, but they're not
Well, I was
hatch.
born
You know
in
what I
Anaheim.
mean? And like I said, they're okay. They're good. And here they call them chili de Colorado or Pueblo chili, which is again good, but not hatch.
No, I
You know,
certainly
it's
understand because every year there is actually opportunities here to go to hatch chili roastings and
mm,
order a case, and I have true hatch chilies in my freezer. I'm telling you, I
I
have it.
love them. They're so good.
I would,
So Mitchell's Hammer is my stink of flesh sauce that it just got released actually on Black Friday, because the movie got a Blu-ray release after almost 20 years. So I've got that one. I'm going to be making a sauce in February. So the original sauce was a collaboration with a brewery back in San Antonio called Weathered Souls. They made a beer called Black is Beautiful, which um, they basically made nationwide. I think 1,000 breweries brewed it over the course of 2 years, and all of the profits are donated to local person of color charities. I made a hot sauce out of that, which I really liked. Unfortunately, I can't get the beer now, so I'm probably going to make a different version of it with a different stout instead of that particular one. But I'm still going to donate some of the profits.
hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So I've got that one.
so that one's a charity sauce.
That one's, yeah, it is, and it's important. But the cover I love because it has a bunch of or the artwork I love because it has a bunch of images from a bunch of black horror films. So you've got Candyman, you've got the main character from Night of the Living Dead, you've got some of the Jordan Peele films on there. So
Wow,
some
I love that. I
70s
love
black
the diversity.
exploitation. Yeah, I'm a big ally in general. Whether it's racial or LGBTQ or whatever. I actually have a sauce that I've been trying to work on called the Blue Badook, which is based on the Babadook, which is a weird horror movie that accidentally became a gay icon because Netflix threw it in under their gay films one year, their Pride collection, and
Oh,
everyone's like, "This has nothing to do with that," but they just took it and went with it. So
so
hold
it,
on, I'll show you.
okay, sure. So it just ended up sort of in that, it just
Right, it just
ended up
ended
sort of
up
getting loved by that community also.
exactly. Where is it? Sorry, there's too many movies over here.
No worries.
Uh,
Patient.
Oh, I thought I had the Pride version. They actually released a version of it with a rainbow cover. Um,
That's okay.
so I'm working on that one for June. Working on Season of the Witch for fall, and I'm actually thinking about doing a peppermint sauce for Christmas this year.
That sounds so
So
awesome.
yeah, there's one of
No,
my
I
favorite
love
Christmas
that
horror.
idea.
So I thought it sounded like it might work. We'll see. I
It
don't
can
know. I'm gonna
work.
try. But one of my favorite Christmas horror movies is a movie called Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the main character in that over and over again, his word is punish. So I'm going to make punishment sauce, MINT. So
Punishment.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, I like to do the year-round sauces, but I also like doing these collaborations because I have a bunch of friends who are filmmakers. So I'm pairing with them. I'm actually working on another sauce for a movie that's coming out this year. So hopefully we'll have that pretty soon. It's going to be based on a verde sauce that I'm working on. So that's my next one is I need a verde sauce in my lineup. So
Well, I have really enjoyed this time with you. Is there anything
thank
else
you.
you'd like to share?
Just check out www.horrifyinghotsauce.com. All my stuff is on there. We give discounts for buying 3 or 4 bottles, and
Cool.
I'm working on getting my shipping costs better. I lowered them in January. They went down $2 from what they were last year. I'm still trying to figure out how to ship one bottle in a way that's cost effective. Haven't gotten that figured out yet. So I definitely recommend buying at least 3 because that's where you're going to get the best deals is getting 3 or more. But horrifyinghotsauce.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at Horrifying Hot Sauce, just all one word. You can find me on either one there as well. So, and thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So, following this interview that I did with Mr. D Ryan here, I'm going to be reviewing his hot sauces. So stay tuned for that. And you have a lovely evening and keep the fire in your heart.
Thanks. Can't wait to hear what you think.
I can't wait to try them. So I just got finished having a very intriguing chat with D Ryan Mowry from Horrifying Hot Sauces. You can get his hot sauces at horrifyinghotsauces.com. I have 3 of his hot sauces here, so I am going to give my personal opinion of them. We're going to start with his Momo sauce. There's the Momo sauce. The ingredients: mango, manzano peppers, brine, apple and white wine vinegars. Simple. He disclosed to me that he doesn't like tomatoes, so we won't find any tomatoes in his hot sauces. And he has a special love for manzano peppers. I need to try one now after having a discussion with him. It's like his signature thing. He also disclosed to me that he starts his hot sauce process thinking of what color hot sauce he wants to make, which is pretty cool. This one is a bright yellow. So I have made a hot sauce assessment tool. I am the Reaper teacher. I love math and statistics and research. So I'm going to assess each of his hot sauces with my hot sauce assessment tools with the parameters that I've listed here. We have label, appearance, viscosity, flavor, heat, balance, and my own personal overall perception of the hot sauce. So first we're gonna look at the label. You know, his labels are extremely creative. They have a personal touch to him. They go go with his story and interests. I'm gonna give him a 10 for a label. Besides, they pop. He's an excellent artist. You know, I'm overcoming my 3-year-long fear of the Momo sauce because this hot sauce used to pop up and scare me. Look at it, it's kind of, well, maybe it's just me, but it somewhat frightened me, actually. So we're gonna give it a 10 for label. Then I'm gonna shake it up and I'm gonna pour it on the spoon. My Reaper Teacher hot sauce spoon. Smells good. It has a sweet, pleasant vinegary aroma. It has a smooth, like medium viscosity thickness. I really like that. And it's more tart than I expected. I expected it to be really sweet. So appearance, it is a beautiful bright yellow color. We'll give it a 9. For viscosity, it's smooth. It's smooth. It has a medium texture. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. I'm gonna give it an 8. Now I'm gonna try it on a chicken wing. Chicken wings are pretty mundane. Before assessing the rest of it. Cheers. Let's add some more. Yes, it has a velvety pour and consistency. Well, the flavor, it's a little bit tart for me, but it's good. The heat is balanced. I can taste the mango. The manzano pepper I'm not familiar with, so hopefully I can get the gist of that flavor, the manzano flavor, pepper flavor. I'll try it again. It's rated PG. He has his heat ratings based on movies. It's more tart than I thought. I would describe it as tart rather than sweet. It's a little bit on the savory side. It has a slight bitterness to it that I didn't expect. But it also has a freshness to it. I am going to give it, for flavor, a 7.5. The heat isn't overwhelming. It kind of meshes with the flavor at the beginning, and it builds just a little tiny bit as after you try it. So for heat, I think that it has an excellent balance of heat. I'm gonna give it a 9. And balance, I'm gonna give it a 9. And overall, I think this hot sauce is, because I'm not averaging these, I'm just gonna give my overall, like, I think it's like a 7.8. And that was the Momo sauce from Horrifying Hot Sauce. And I have overcome my fear of this hot sauce with the frightening label. The next hot sauce we are going to try, buffet for Shitar. And he said most of his hot sauces have horror movie themes, hence Horrifying Hot Sauce. He makes films, enjoys movies, especially horror, the genre of horror, and he also brews beer. He was a really intriguing man to talk to. I really enjoyed our conversation. So the ingredients in Buffet for Shitar, which is supposed to somewhat resemble blood, remember? Color is his favorite thing. Unfortunately, he was unable to get the plums that normally go in this, but it's still a very nice color. You can see a little bit of roughage in there. It's nice. It's even. It's appealing. The ingredients are black plums, blackberries, manzano peppers, red jalapeno, which are somewhat sweeter than green jalapenos when you let them ripen all the way, habanero and Carolina Reaper peppers, brine, red and white wine vinegars. And it's rated R. So this one should be hotter than the Momo sauce. So let's put it on the spoon, the Reaper Teacher hot sauce spoon. Oh, it also has a nice consistency. It's smooth. It's not runny. That one has a nice kick. Again, for the label, Buffet for Shitar, I'm going to give it a 10. There's a story behind the label. Like I said, it has a personal connection. He drew his own art, and look, it pops. All of his labels pop. You can see there's a brain in the jar, and then Shatara's, her face is in the background. So 10 for the label, the appearance, 8 for appearance, viscosity is pretty on point, 9. The heat, I already can assess the heat. I really like the heat in it. Of course, it's a rated R sauce, so it's hotter than the Momo sauce, so it matches its rating. And it's still, the hot sauce is still flavor forward. So I'm going to give it a 9 for heat. And now I'm going to try it on a hot wing. Well, it's not really a hot wing yet. It's just a chicken wing. Cheers. I'm messy sometimes. Add some more. You know I won't eat more of anything I don't like, so. Again, it has plum in it, but it's not sweet. This one's fully savory. I can taste the plum flavor. It really goes well with the rest of the with the whole hot sauce. It's balanced beautifully. I'm gonna give it a 9 for balance. The flavor is unique. There's not there isn't too much of a vinegary flavor, even though I love vinegary, but you can't go there. The seasoning is good. I quite like that hot sauce. I'm gonna give it a 9 for flavor. And overall, I do believe this hot sauce is an 8.8. And last but not least, we're gonna try D Ryan's horrifying hot sauce called Pazuzu, inspired by The Exorcist. Pazuzu is a purple sauce, or the color purple was the inspiration behind it, and it's definitely a dark grape color. The label is spooky. Again, it's his own personal art. I already have, I think it's nice that he has a personal touch, a backstory, two or three different interests that are all connected with his hot sauce line. And look, his art is amazing. So for label again, and if you see this on the shelf, you're going to look at it. It's going to catch your eye. For label, 10. Appearance, this beautiful purpley grape color. 10. Now let's pour it. It smells really good. Oh, let me read the ingredients. Please hold. Oh, prickly pear, watermelon, habanero, ghost and Carolina Reaper peppers, brine, white wine vinegar, and black pepper. Yeah, this one smells really good to me. But I have a thing for prickly pears and watermelon. But I'm very particular about sweet hot sauces and fruit hot sauces, so my reaction to his black plum hot sauce actually surprised me. Yeah, it has an excellent aroma. I can smell the essence of prickly pear in there. So let's pour this one. That one's a little thinner, and he did tell me it would be. I like my sausage just a little thicker. I'll try a little more. Yeah, it's slightly sweet, but not so much that it's overwhelming. The heat is in between. For me, the heat feels like it's in between Buffet for Chatar and Momo, but it has nice heat. It's also rated R. Yeah, it has a very pleasant, unique flavor. Let's try it on a chicken wing. Oh, it does pour very quickly. Yeah, I'm not fond of the viscosity of this one. Ryan, you may need to put a sissy cup on it. It's slightly sweet. I love the flavor. I think I would put it on like fish tacos. It's unique for sure. I've never tasted a hot sauce like that. And the heat, it has a good kick. It has a good kick. I'm gonna give it like an 8 for heat, an 8 for balance. Oh my gosh. The life of being the life of a chili head. For flavor, I'm gonna give it a 9. It's really good. For viscosity, it gets a 5. So overall, this hot sauce is a solid 8.5. So I thank you, Ryan, for giving me the opportunity to assess your hot sauces. They're unique, and everybody has different preferences, of course, and I'm quite surprised that you wooed me with your fruit the fruit in your hot sauces because that's hard to do. So thank you for watching. If you were interested in getting one of D Ryan's horrifying hot sauces, please go to hotsauces.com. I will put the link in the description. And I love you. Keep the fire in your heart. A photo from D Ryan of the manzano pepper, the mascot chili pepper of Horrifying Hot Sauce.